like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, heck, we're even on TikTok. We're excited to engage with you. We hope you'll join us moving forward.
Good morning, everyone. It's Andrew with the Market Mindset. Today, we're joined by Morgan Lekstron, who's the president and CEO of Hammer Mining Corp. Definitely, company has done exceptionally well over the past year. A lot of work done. We've had you on the show a number of times, giving us updates. And like I said, a lot of work has been put together very quickly, and the stock has done very well for people, and the market has responded to that. And we are really looking forward to see what the plan is for 2022, kind of maybe recapping some of what went on last year. Once again, thank you for your time. How are you doing today? And just let's maybe recap all, well, not all, but a lot of the major achievements last year.
Yeah, no, I'm doing excellent. And thanks again for having me on here, Andrew, and on your show. I always appreciate the opportunity to speak to your audience and to you. And yeah, thank you very much for the accolades for the successful year that we've had, given that we only IPO'd the company about 6 months into the year. So about May, May, we brought it to market. We brought in our Silver Strand asset in June. I joined the company in June. We brought on Ron Burke as a technical advisor, Phil Mahan as a chief geologist. We realized that we had the existing underground and could rehabilitate it. We went down that path of rehabilitating it as well as exploring on surface. So coming up with a unique drilling method with a local contractor, we were able to drill the underground out, start exploring our surface, start permitting, getting permit approved in record time of 2 weeks. And then while we were doing that, we had the opportunity to bring in 2 Nevada assets that are high potential tier 1 assets. So that's the Eliza project in the historic Hamilton district and the Silverton project in the Silverton district. So both past producing high grade assets, just like the Idaho asset Silver Strand, our flagship asset. And we were successful in drilling. We drilled 6 holes from underground in very short order. Before the end of the year, had our assays out. Every single one of those 6 holes hit mineralization and hit it strong. We had great gold grades, we had great silver grades. And the thing people need to remember about that is it is right below surface. This is not at 500 meters down. This is at 15 meters below the lowest portal surface entrance. So that's really exciting because that only shows us that there's a large potential down dip and at depth. So we're going to look at exploring that. We also appointed Ron Burke to the board and Lawrence Ralston to the board. So 2 highly competent professional individuals that have been in this industry for between 30 and 40 years each. Ron Burke was the ex-vice president of Centerra Exploration, ex-vice president of Silver Standard, now SSR Exploration, has been accredited with multiple large finds in his career. So as well as Lawrence Ralston and his background, in the resource sector, upwards of 40 years being a professional geologist and an exceptional newsletter writer and kind of a staple in this industry. So for us, looking forward, it's exciting. We had the drilling results. We had great sampling results from both our Nevada assets, drilling results from the Idaho assets. So progressing forward, we're going to continue to drill in Idaho at our flagship Silver Strand. We want to prove that down to depth. We also want to start exploring with that new drilling method on surface at all these outcrops and all these mega interpretations that we have that look exactly like Silver Strand. So we think there's potential or a high potential for multiple paralleling veins all along strike. So we're going to start exploring that in the first half of 2022. As well as permitting and doing more work at Eliza and Silverton, mainly doing sampling work and some geophysics at Eliza, drill targeting, and hopefully starting to drill that in the first half of 2022, as well as Silverton, looking at more drill targeting, more sampling, more geological understanding, and then looking at drilling that in 2022 as well. So not only are we drilling on one flagship project, which we've proven that there's mineralization and there's gold and silver there, we're looking at how do we expand that asset as well as how do we expand our portfolio of assets into becoming a large exploration payoff company and hopefully realize a lot of value for our shareholders.
Yeah, and like I said, the speed at which things were done, and I'm not trying to be to toot your horn too much, but to be able to get all those things done within basically 6 months is challenging, to say the least. Never mind that during a pandemic as well, to be able to get all those things completed is almost shocking. And that it means something. Sometimes I say the stock price can mean something, and maybe it doesn't mean something. In this case, it's a reflection, I think, of a lot of confidence in the management and the board. The thesis right off the bat, like, I mean, I'm not a geo, and whenever I looked at the modeling you had, I mean, I understood. It's like, okay, I can see what this is. I can see what this is doing. So if you're able to convince someone like me, who isn't a geo, who isn't a mining engineer, that goes, oh no, I see the vision, that's pretty impressive. And that's obviously been the case with so many other people, because you guys are great at getting your news out and getting the word out. And the market's, reflected that. There seems to be a lot of confidence in what you're doing.
Yeah, we're really thankful to the market and to the retail and to all of our investors. I really enjoy going to these conferences and talking about our projects and our team, because it's easy to talk about. It's very easy to talk to people when you do things you say you're going to do. And that's something that at Silver Hammer, we really take a lot of pride in. Is we say we're going to do something. We say we're going to drill. We're going to drill. We say we're going to explore new assets. We're going to bring in assets. We say we're going to build a leading silver mining company with large production or a large exploration payoff. Bet your butt that's what I'm aiming to do.
Well, that's great, and you've done it already. And I assume you've given us a hint, and you've kind of given us a bit of a sense of what's going to be coming up next for 2022. I would assume it's safe to say there's going to be a lot of news flow. There's going to be a lot of data, and a lot coming in pretty, I would imagine, fairly quickly as well. And I know we can't say specifics, we don't know times and stuff, but kind of give us a sense for someone who goes, okay, maybe if I'm late to the party, I've just heard about you. What should I be looking for? It's for January. What am I looking for? What's some of the targets I can kind of look for?
Yeah, so I mean, January and February are really those planning months, seen as, Silver Strand has snow on it, and so does Eliza and Silverton. So they're going to be our planning months. We're looking at a couple different programs in the background that I'm sure you'll be surprised to see results from, examining old information, the historic information, and modeling that. As you said, we moved really fast in 2021. We were able to achieve monumental things with such a small company and within our budget and ahead of schedule. So I'm looking to do the same in 2022, make sure the plan is concrete, make sure our team is on board, and execute on that plan and drive value from our assets. So that's all I can say for that right now, but I definitely have to say I look forward to, and I'm sure a lot of people are looking forward to, what can come out of all three of these assets and our team being the exceptional team that it is.
Yes. And I mean, I can say from my point of view as a commodity silver, I mean, I never like to play the game of what's silver going to be in a year, but I would suspect it's going to be, I would feel strong saying stronger than what it is today. And I think most people out there would say, given the current climate and chaos out there, commodities are looking very strong. Never mind from a precious metals component, but from the solar panel part. I mean, just if you look at it from the industrial use from silver, the outlook for silver is looking very optimistic. So you've got an outlook that's macro, that has some uncertainty, which is actually good for the precious metal side, because people will be flocking to more stable kind of assets. And then people that want more of the growth will be looking for, well, what's a company out there that might be able to add a bit of growth here in a good foundation. And this stock has done very well, like I said, in the last year. And also the capital structure leaves it a lot of room to grow whenever you feel fit.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely correct. I mean, we were pleasantly surprised and happy to see that, near the end of the year, warrants started coming in. So that was adding cash to our till. As well, you want to talk about that growth in the stock. I mean, you look at companies like American Pacific, not under a year ago, valuation $10-12 million. Now they're valued at $120-130 million. BlackRock Silver, small, $7-8 million valuation, now $160 million valuation. So when you think about like large growth as a stock, the potential is there, but like as an industry, it's often miscommunicated that, you can make all your money in crypto and you can do all the. there's a lot of potential in the junior mining space, especially when you have a great team and great assets. There are many examples lately and in the past historically of companies that have done so well and had 10, 20, 100x multiples from finding great assets with great teams.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, because I can say this part, and it might sound a little bit promotional. Someone will say to me, "Oh, Bitcoin or an NFT or whatever," and I'll say, "Okay, great. So if you think Bitcoin's going to double from 50,000 to 100,000, that's a big move. Like, I know it can, but that's a big move." But I'm like, Silver Hammer, you could have got it at 30 cents. It's sitting at 72 cents today. 30 to 72 cents is a lot easier move. I mean, it's a huge move. But it's a lot easier to move that. Or if you say to someone, "Do you think Tesla is going to double next year?" It's probably not going to double. So people have to put things into perspective and then go, what are you actually getting with some crypto? And often it's just, I want the return, and they don't know what they're buying. Whereas this is, you've got a physical commodity that's required and needed in the future that we're looking for tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I love the analogy of, is it going to double or is it going to triple?
Yeah.
I mean, I think in the junior mining space, that's not how we think. We think of how we're going to grow our assets and how we're going to bring our value to our shareholders. And those are natural progressions. I mean, we IPO'd at 25 cents and we had a year high of $1.08.
Yeah.
With incredible volume. So I'm very optimistic and happy with how we're performing and looking forward to continuing to bring that type of performance and value to shareholders. And we'll be doing our best to expedite things, which we've been doing and we will continue to do, to drive this company forward in a methodical and cost-effective manner, which we've demonstrated already.
Yeah, and it's interesting too. I mean, when you've got projects too that are so I'm going to put you on the spot and say, out of the three projects, which one is more of your favorite at this point? I know it's tough because obviously all the data's in and it's a bit early, but because they are very attractive on their own rights, and it would be tough to say, "Ooh, this one's the one." But do you have one that you like that's near and dear to your heart?
Well, put it this way. I mean, our flagship mine, Silver Strand, is our flagship for a reason. It's the nearest to drilling. It's the nearest to potential production, to large exploration payoff. And, absolutely getting in there, getting in the underground gets me smiling because that's my background. And I love that asset. I think it has huge potential and we're going to explore that. But I also think that, when I look at the Eliza asset in Nevada, that historic Hamilton district, and it hasn't been gone back to in 135 years, like the potential for that asset, given the silver grades we've been getting in chip samples and the copper grades, I think the exploration potential there is exponential. And that's what we're looking for, and that's what we'll hopefully be proving out this year. So yeah, Silver Strand. I'm really excited about Silver Strand, but looking forward to the large potential of Eliza and Silverton. Right, these are all past producing high grade assets that were walked away from almost 100 years ago on the least. So yeah, you don't get these opportunities often, and to bring those into the fold, I'd say I'm excited about all of them.
No, and especially, and just for those that haven't been following the story, is that this is near-term production and stuff as well, with big blue sky potential, which often you don't get to have that combination. Often it might be somewhere up in the Golden Triangle where people are looking for bonanza style type stuff or huge numbers, and that would take years to get actually into a mine. Even if you found mine level discovery, this is something that is very near term, but with a big possible blue sky. And that's the type of things that people like, because they can see that revenue can be generated. They can see some of the workings at the beginning, but also it captures the imagination of where can this go?
Yeah, I mean, one of the keys to that, and you mentioned it, is I call it road access. Every one of our projects has Forest Service or highway access. So easy to access, can be accessed year round if we plowed on some of these projects, but very easily accessible, which means that we're not having to log roads and install roads and permit for all that. We're right off the road. So these areas that we're in do have that potential because we can move them forward very quickly.
Excellent. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to catch us up. Like I said, last year was a flurry of success and milestones being hit. We're going to hold you to the same standard. You set a high bar, but we're looking forward to it. And we're really looking forward to any data that comes out, any news releases, and we'll be watching it like a hawk because this is a very interesting story and very captivating. And I suspect it's going to be a very interesting year, 2022, for not only the whole mining sector, but specifically Silver Hammer.
Yeah, I look forward to the year ahead, and I definitely know that we've got a lot of very big things coming down the pipeline with our assets. So I'm very much looking forward to getting those out to our shareholders and talking about that more in the future.
Excellent. Well, thanks again, Morgan. Welcome to 2022, and we look forward to keeping in touch and finding out what's happening.
Let's drop the hammer this year.
Yeah, I love it. Yes.